The story I'm about to recount comes from our viewer and regular contributor, Mick Norton. So for the next few minutes, try to imagine that I'm Mick. Okay, here's the story. When I retired from active site visits to train and assess plant operators in 2015, I was 71 years of age and had by that time been continuously associated with plant for 53 years, both in the military and as a civilian. Every day was guaranteed to be a different challenge in different environments with a fascinating mix of characters. Over time, I trained or tested many plant disciplines, including an ordained priest who wanted cherry-picker competence so he could keep pace with the lead that was being continuously removed from his Bradford church roof. The Premiership footballer who had to revert to blacktopping after being sacked for an attitude problem. An international author from Nottingham who wanted some dozer training for added authenticity to a chapter in a new book. And the UK bare-knuckle heavyweight boxing champion from Holmfirth who just wanted a career change. In 1997, I ran a novice course for tracked excavators, which included one candidate who approached me one day and said, "Mick, I thought I should let you know that I've developed Tourette's syndrome, and I needed to know whether it might debar me from the course." Now, I had recently trained and tested a 360-degree excavator operator who had only one leg, and a rough terrain forklift operator with just one arm, so I assured him that Tourette's would not disadvantage his chances. The candidate adapted well to the practical applications of the excavator, and I knew he would have little problem achieving the necessary pass for his chosen ticket. My main concern was when the theory test was underway, it would be with a tape recorder on and a question and answer scenario within the confines of a site porter cabin that would only add to his stress and anxiety. The candidate warned me that his symptoms might kick off when being theory tested inside the porter cabin with either some eye blinking, head jerking or clearing of the throat, tics. I said, "Okay, no worries, I'll leave the door open and I won't impose any time restraint. Just chill out and take your time. I'm sure you'll be okay." On the day, all was going well until one health and safety question seemed to trigger the symptoms. At this juncture, bear in mind the candidate was ex-rugby playing Castleford coal miner, 6'6" and weighed in at 18 stone. And as soon as the head jerked and the shoulder rotated, I must admit I moved back in my chair, not knowing what to expect, ready for a tirade of filthy abuse or worse. He then screamed at the top of his voice, "Biscuits! Biscuits! Biscuits!" After a minute or so, and a drink of water, he apologised and responded with the correct answer to the previous question, word perfect. An approved code of practice, ACOP, is not a legal requirement. Although he never achieved the top marks for his theory, it was a satisfactory pass result that saw him achieve an overall second place on the 10-day course and taught me that a Tourette's outburst is not always what you expect. In fact, only 1 in 10 of those with Tourette's syndrome actually swear. Strangely and reassuringly, his tics completely disappeared when sat in an excavator, concentrating on lever pedal functions and their application. There's no cure for Tourette's syndrome. Treatment is aimed at controlling tics that interfere with everyday activities and functioning. When tics aren't severe, treatment may not even be necessary. I'm still in touch with this now seasoned operator who still earns a good living with an excavator in the M62 corridor, and we still chuckle at the time that this seasoned old planter was on the edge of his seat some 23 years ago when suddenly somebody yelled, "Biscuits! Biscuits! Biscuits!" His treatment is ongoing and working well. Thank you very much indeed, Mick Norton, for sharing that story with us, and to the operator in question for allowing us to feature the story.